Welcome to the Boss Babe Share Your Business, Learn and Teach podcast. Here, women come together from around the world, different backgrounds, faiths, views, expertise, and countries with the common goal to lift others up, share their expertise, and present their most beautiful jewels of wisdom in business and in life. We're here to spread love, health, and wealth around the globe in massive, long-lasting ripples. My name's Jenna Martin, and it's an honor to be here with you today. Get a cup of tea or your favorite drink and enjoy. Okay, we're now live in Boss Babes. I am so excited today. I love interviewing all women, but I have a lot of questions for Anna today. This is our amazing Boss Babe podcast. It's just starting. This is only our second episode, and it's just been a joy so far. So today we have Anna Davidson. She's brilliant at Amazon, Etsy, all marketplaces. So I'm just going to ask her a ton of questions because I'm curious too about the world of, you would call it e-commerce, right? Is that what? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's great to be here. I'm so excited to be in the Boss Babe group. It's so exciting. So thanks for having me.
Of course. So it's something that I would like to get better at as well. So I'm super honored to introduce Anna Davidson here today. She helps women on Amazon and Etsy grow their businesses, and thank you for being here. And would you like to introduce more about you and what you do?
Yeah. So I'm, as you said, I'm an Amazon, an e-commerce and digital expert. I've been selling physical products for quite some time now. I started on the Amazon marketplace back in 2012, got really serious in 2013. So my background was, I worked in the corporate world for many, many years. And I think, like a lot of women or ladies in this group will be able to relate, I think when you become a mum, we want it all, don't we? We want to be a good mum, but we also want to have our own income. And sort of time became more important than money back then when my first son, Jacob, was born. But I've always been really ambitious. And I could see that these platforms like eBay, Amazon, and Etsy were like starting to have some growth. I mean, this last 2 years, happening in the pandemic, it's gone crazy. But even back in sort of 2012, 2013, when I first got started it, I could see this sort of digital wave happening, So yeah, I've sold beauty products, supplements, home and kitchen gadgets, toys and scooters and electric scooters. But more recently, I've been focusing on my bamboo range because kind of eco-friendly products are kind of on the horizon as well. So mainly sell on Amazon, but also sell on Etsy. I've sold a few things on eBay, but Amazon and Etsy are my main marketplaces. And then I also sell my physical product brands on my own stores as well. And so in the corporate world, I was a trainer and did coaching. And so it was just natural for me to do coaching as well. So I balanced my time on having a coaching program, also launching different products. I obviously juggle that time. And I've really focused this last, I think it was like 2018, because the last couple of years seem to be a bit of a blur with the pandemic.
Yeah, it's okay.
You want to say like a year ago, and then you realise actually it's about 3.
Yeah.
Because we've lost some time.
We have.
But I've coached lots of different people over the years with offline workshops here in the UK, then with using the digital world, online videos and one-to-one coaching. But in 2018, I decided to really focus on women and focus on my Amazon Queen, as I call her, Amazon Queens program. So, and that's just really with my personal journey. So,
wow, that's
great to be in the group.
What'd you say?
It's great to be in the Boss Babe group because, really, I've helped men as well. I'm not a real feminist, but I think it's nice to help women with the journey that I've been on, because I've had a challenging time personally, but also just having that bit of girl power really and helping other queens out.
It's empowering.
It is, it is. It's really empowering.
Yeah, especially, just being a mom. I'm not a mom personally, but I have friends who are moms. Just being able to have that extra income or doing so well to
Mm,
not have to work, that's so empowering to moms,
mm.
especially of many kids, just to have that time with them and be able to be home. So I think that's a beautiful gift to give.
Yeah, definitely. It
Yeah.
definitely.
Can I ask what your first product was on your
So, yeah, everybody always asks me. What's funny is it took me 7 months to make my first product. I now look back and think, "What was I doing?" And I tell all my students this when they're, like, struggling and deciding on their first product. I always say, "Look, it's completely normal. I overanalyzed so much, and I try and kind of speed up that process and help them make that decision." But my first product was actually a prenatal vitamin because back then I had a baby and a toddler. So
Yeah.
I was very in that mumsy world, you know. And in fact, it was actually in the US. I manufactured it with a US supplier and sold on the US Amazon, even though, I'm based in the UK.
Wow.
And I had a prenatal supplement, and then I launched a weight loss supplement because I kind of thought, well, after a baby, you want to lose weight. and
Yeah.
and then I did a skin, hair, and nail, and then a probiotic. I had a whole range of supplements that were targeted at mums because I kind of thought, well, I'm a mum, so
Yeah.
um, focus on that kind of avatar, as it were. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And how did you get to electric scooters then? That's kind of interesting. Yeah.
So I think I've just tried different products over the years, and I've got
Yeah.
better at kind of spotting opportunities. I do think it's really important. There's a lot of Amazon experts out there that say do not focus on interest, just focus on the data
Oh,
or
yeah.
data, as you guys call it. Just focus on the numbers and analyze and look at some of these softwares and tools. But I think you can do both because I've seen people focus just on the data and then they launch a product and they lose interest.
Mm.
Whereas actually, if you build a purposeful brand around a niche that you also have interest in, it doesn't have to be a big hobby. It just could be products that you buy a lot of, and then also look at the numbers. Not going to forget the numbers, and then you've got the win-win really. So
Yeah.
I've tried I've spotted different opportunities, and my boys were into scooters and things like that.
Yeah.
There's always been a kind of interest there somewhere, even if it's not been directly me getting on the scooter. I think they've been spoiled over the years.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
I've just tried different ones, but now I really want to focus on the bamboo range because I'm
Yeah.
45 now, so I'm thinking, well, if I can build this brand up and then exit it, there's been a lot of people that I've seen in this niche for a while that have now exited their brands and sold their brand for like 1.5 million or something like that. Then it's great
Wow.
to built something that it's about timing as well, selling at the right time, but being able to exit to maybe a bigger investor, then you've got something substantial then for your hard work. So that's my
Yeah.
my mission now after the years of experience that I've tried lots of different products. So
That's amazing, and I think it's so important to this group because so many women have their own brands and their businesses, but they're also realizing they need to add additional streams of income, to have
mm,
more than one thing bringing in income, and I've seen now you can be an Amazon, I think, influencer or Amazon
yeah,
associate or something like that, and so if you're using products that you already love, then this is a brilliant what you're doing, is brilliant and can really help bring in more.
a really good point you make because
Yeah.
I think I saw that you were in Clubhouse or you mentioned something about Clubhouse.
Mhm.
I've
Yeah.
met a lot of influencers in Clubhouse,
Mm.
and there's been people that have created an influencer business just in the pandemic by doing exactly that. There was a girl that I met that she just started, she didn't even realize she was an influencer because she just started sharing offers that she found on Amazon. And
Mm.
what was great was because she wasn't an official Amazon influencer, she was like, "This, you better get this deal now because I don't know when it's going to expire."
Oh,
Urgency,
natural.
people were buying, and now
Yeah.
become an official Amazon influencer, and
Wow.
now we've got Amazon.com Live,
Oh,
um, which is like QVC. So it's going to be the future. We haven't got it here in the UK yet, and I sell in the UK as well. So I can't wait for it to come here. But it's
oh,
basically Amazon influencers demonstrating the product, just like on QV, the old QVC channels that used to be on.
yeah.
And you can chat to the influencer and ask questions. And then underneath, there's like a conveyor belt of all the products that influencer.
Wow. That
So
is so
it's
cool.
the future that's going to happen with that. I think it's really exciting. So
Yeah. I've seen a lot of YouTubers have links, like, if they're vloggers, they have links to their cameras and
yeah,
so there's yeah, it's amazing. Well, will you tell us, I know you have some tips for us today about how to do this, how to go about it. Do you mind sharing a little more if someone's
yeah,
interested,
no, of
what
course, I
the
will
next
do.
steps would be? Yeah.
So I know that I come across a lot of people that have maybe their own store. You know, they may use Shopify or maybe WooCommerce or something like that. And
Mhm.
and that's great. And I think it's probably the hardest way to sell physical products
Mm.
because you've either got to have a group, because you need three things, don't you? It's with like yourself with marketing online, with branding. You need a few things. You need to know who your avatar is, who your target audience is. You need to create your following, and then you've got to have a good offer, a no-brainer offer. And
Yeah.
it's similar in physical products. So if you've got your own store, like your own boutique or whatever, you've got to work out who is going to be your target audience. You've also got to maybe have a group or a following, because or you pay and invest in advertising and traffic, and then you've got to have some good deals.
Yeah.
So it's difficult to do that because it takes time to build up. And I think people get into the physical product niche and they think, "Oh, I'll sell these products," and they focus on how great their store is and how beautiful it looks and the logo and their name and all of this kind of stuff. And I know because I've done this, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to patronise anybody, but in a way, we have to focus on the product and and marketplaces. I think people have been against Jeff Bezos over the years because you think, well, Amazon are taking over the world and
Yeah.
Amazon are taking over Walmart, and here in the UK it's Tesco's. But
Yeah.
actually, Amazon is the biggest marketplace. Firstly, it grew by over 50% in the pandemic, which has been absolutely huge. Last quarter four, it turned over $153 billion.
Wow.
And I think the last stats I saw was $16 million an hour. So it's
Wow.
absolutely huge. So by you maybe not wanting to go on a marketplace, in a way, you're leaving a lot of money on the table, because I see it as a partnership with Amazon. And what I do is I start with the interest. So, say, like when I started, I wanted to do. Now, my background, I actually worked for Pfizer for many years. I keep this secret because I was, especially now with the vaccine, and it made me go the other way. I didn't want to use any medications with my family. But I think that's why I went into supplements. I wanted to do natural supplements and have my own little drugstore, I suppose, of these natural supplements. But I started with who I was targeting, which was mums. And then I
Mhm.
started researching the different supplements that were available. And of course, we've got to get our USP of who we know. I knew I was targeting mums, but how was I going to stand out? What was it going to be my thing? And it was all about the labeling, working
Yeah.
on different colours that were going to attract mums. And then, of course, by going on Amazon, I was researching the SEO. So just like Google SEO, but with Amazon and Etsy and eBay, it's buying keywords. So I
Okay.
was looking at those. I was doing all the research on those keywords for those particular supplements, and I found that prenatal supplements was something that was really big. It did get really competitive, actually, and that's why I moved out of that niche. Uh,
Interesting, yeah.
but whatever your interest is, the next step, if you've got a store at the moment and you're struggling with sales, is to start looking at these keywords. Amazon is great because you can use their fulfillment, so you don't need to do all the pick packing yourself from home. So I decide on products. I work with my agents in China and then also people, suppliers in India. I
Wow.
teach them how to do the barcoding. They send it directly from China to Amazon. People think that the Chinese products are cheap, but actually 80% of our products globally are from China. We've just got to
Yeah.
get quality. So I
Yeah.
create my own brands and have my own logo on them, and then I send them to Amazon, and Amazon will pick and pack and ship them out. So I don't actually have the physical product with me, at home.
You don't
So
have to
it
have a
gives me
warehouse behind you.
exactly
Yeah.
that's what put me off. Like a lot of friends of mine sold on eBay, and I thought my house is going to be full of stock.
Yeah.
To scale and go big, I'd have to have a warehouse and staff, and it just seemed to be too overwhelming.
Yeah.
Doing fulfillment by Amazon, you partner with Amazon, they're taking care of it, so you can focus on your listing, getting the keywords right, the images right.
Wow.
What's really important. But Etsy is my other love. So
Mm.
Amazon's the biggest marketplace and it has its own fulfillment. But Etsy, I love Etsy because it's beautiful. It's a beautiful platform. There's lots of
Yeah.
really nice stores. And I think if you are, because Amazon do have a few hurdles with different certifications and requirements you've got to provide them. So if you're the easiest way to kind of move to a marketplace is probably Etsy.
Okay.
But again, you've got to focus on the SEOs, the keywords. There's a tool called eRank. So I know there's a few ladies in your group that were asking questions about Etsy. If you use eRank, it will help you with those SEO. It will tell you the keywords that you need. And
Wow.
because you've got to get your title, it's not just about listing a product, you've got to get the title right with the right keywords in there.
Yeah.
So you've got to do your research first. And then images is so important on Etsy because everything's so beautiful on Etsy. And so we've got to be competitive, look at the competition and do better than the competition and have really good professional photos. Or do your own on Canva if you're artistic and creative. But it's easy Etsy because there aren't many barriers. Like you can open an account really easy, you can list a product really easy. It's also really cost effective. So for people who are maybe not used to marketplace, probably Etsy is probably the easiest. But
Okay.
Amazon, you can launch a product in the US, launch one in the UK, launch one in Germany, in Australia, Singapore, everywhere globally, all at the same time.
Wow.
You go to all those fulfillments. So it depends what your strategy is as regards to if you want to go big or you want to start small and scale. And
Yeah, so that's a question I had. I haven't I want to explore all this. I just haven't had the time quite yet, but I know you can do really well. So there's a Amazon for the US versus the UK. Can you
yeah,
tell me more? So if you're gonna sell something on Amazon in the US, but you have a UK audience, what do you do? Or how do you fix
so
that?
you, so you can. The good thing about these marketplaces is, yes, you can drive your own audience to them because that
Okay.
will help when you launch a product to get
Yeah.
onto page one. But you don't need an audience.
Mm.
You're really it'd be like well, you can sell on Walmart now, can't you? So it'd be like selling you like selling on a different marketplace where all your customers are already there. So
Okay.
if your business is based in the UK, you can launch a product in the US, no problem.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so the great thing is the US is the biggest, but it's
Mm,
also the most competitive.
I see.
But then UK and the whole of Europe, because Europe was well, now we've had Brexit, we're not in Europe anymore. So you
Oh.
have got the UK, and then you've got Germany, France, Spain, and Italy. But over this last year, we've had Netherlands, Poland, and Sweden.
Mm,
So the European side of things is getting bigger, and it's less competitive, which is good.
yeah.
And then you've got smaller marketplaces like Australia, which has just expanded to New Zealand, and then you've got Singapore and Dubai. There's just lots of different marketplaces. So it's great because you could launch a product in the US. It's probably easier to launch in the country that you're in. I bought a program and followed an American guy. So he all his training was US. So that's why I started in the US. But
Mm,
my recommendation would be wherever you are based, start there
yeah.
because it's just easier with your business and everything. and then you can start to expand and test that product in different marketplaces, because it'll just be a smaller volume. You know, the US is the biggest, and the UK would be a bit smaller.
Okay.
The amount you were selling,
Okay.
but it's all
Interesting.
the keywords. It's all in the SEO keywords to research, because it'll show you the demands.
Wow.
Uh, so I think the main things are really deciding on, because also it's product based. Like if you've got a quirky product, if you're creative, if you've got bamboo products like me, or you have got just more creative type products, or even if you're spiritual and you've got, you know, like angel cards and things like that, Etsy is the place.
Okay.
If you've then got products that you're thinking of that you want, you know, we turn to Amazon when our garlic press breaks and we're like, I need a new garlic press. Do you know what I mean? It's more essential items, although you can still build brands and beautiful products on Amazon. But
Got it.
that's a little bit about the differences, really, I think.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting about the keywords because I tried to open an Etsy shop once and I had no clue what I was doing. So I had no audience, no audience on Etsy now I know because of the SEO, but
And
super
also, Etsy, it's social. So really, it's good to kind of create an Instagram store page that goes with your
good.
website, so that you can try and encourage that. It's like a social platform more than Amazon,
Yeah. I
because different Etsy store owners follow each other, and you're kind of having that bit more interaction. And it also links with SEO on Google, whereas
Google.
Amazon's a bit more separate. It's like Amazon, you know. Although Amazon has obviously started the Amazon Live stuff and is trying to get a bit more into
Right.
it. So
That's
I
brilliant on their part.
hello.
Yeah.
I think I think if you're building a brand, keep it simple. You only really need 3 good products to be successful. You don't need hundreds of products.
Wow.
Um,
So many of the women in our group, they sell clothes or makeup. We do have some tarot card readers as well, who maybe haven't even thought of creating their own cards. Yeah, so like, how do they even go about that? Obviously, they would reach out to you, but kind of what's
mm,
the generalized process that you would take them on?
to which products you would create, like how you would start,
Yeah,
or
like if they came to you.
say I created my own angel cards. So here, well,
You do?
these are more affirmation, because I on my podcast, which is called Your Freedom Podcast. I created these cards.
Wow, those are
And
beautiful.
they're little affirmation cards. I don't know if you can read.
Oh, and
Um,
they look
just
gorgeous.
just because affirmation, I love affirmation cards.
Yes.
And but these kind of were more towards my group, because you can create products that are more for your personal brand, can't you?
Got it.
That might be like hoodies and journals and things like that. But you can also still sell those on like Etsy and Amazon.
That's
So
amazing.
create your own product initially. I would start with looking on Alibaba, because Alibaba is global, mainly from China. But you
Okay.
can start looking at, if you've got an idea of a product, you'd obviously start with the keywords to check that there's a demand. Because we're really just solving problems for people, you know.
Yeah, I like that, yeah.
Finding the demand for keywords. And if you think, or looking at Google Trends, just looking at some data to see if that product and those keywords have a demand. That's what we want. And then we want to create that solution. And the solution is, how do we stand out? If we're going to be a Me Too product and be the same as everyone else, we're going to struggle. So
Mhm.
we've got to work out what our USP is going to be. And then the next part is, how do we source this product? So you may be better off, if you're just starting and you've got a small budget, to source from your own country.
Mm,
You
mhm.
just test it with a small margin, and then start looking on Alibaba and looking at how, you know, these cards. I think the cost of, I think it was 300 of these cards I got. They're only like a 7-day pack, so it was like a little sort of test, really. Because you know, normally like packs of 30, aren't they? With like the full
Right.
card decks.
Yeah.
Um, but the cost of having 300 from China was the price of like 50 in the UK. So
Okay.
it just meant that, well, it was a no-brainer, really.
Yeah.
Uh, so it's having a look at what the cost would be and how you could be different. Could you do it in a different color? You can speak to the factory. The factory will give you ideas about how you could be different. We want to stand out. So it's different colors, different sizes, different bundles. Maybe you could have a box to make it into a gift that's going to stand out.
Oh, yeah.
I think clothing is really challenging because I know I worked with a lady who did women's lingerie and stuff, and she said that she gets about 60% returns
Okay.
because of sizes and people are
Yeah.
arriving, and then or some people order two so they can try different sizes, knowing they're going to send one back.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
and with Amazon, you probably wouldn't shop on there for clothes unless it was things like leggings or gloves or hats, and it's getting pajamas. I've seen satin pajamas on there, which those are quite cool at the moment.
Yeah.
But generally, you probably wouldn't go and buy dresses, would you, from Amazon? Um, but I can see that happening in the future. Whereas, like Etsy would probably be more suitable for you, really. It just
God.
depends. It just depends. Sports clothing, we would go to Amazon.
Um,
Uh, but I do think clothing's difficult for that reason. Um,
yeah.
So I think it's quite exciting at the moment because obviously people listening to this could be thinking about products for Christmas. Um,
Oh,
I'm planning now on the products that I'm researching products that I'm going to launch for Christmas.
wow.
So my tips would be if you've got any products that you're already selling that you think would make great gifts. I sold some eyelashes, some magnetic eyelashes, and I bundled it together with a pocket mirror. So
Oh,
it was a great stocking filler.
oh,
It was more aimed at like younger girls, or like probably 18 to 24 age group. And I think people were scrolling down and it just stopped them because everyone else was the same or similar eyelashes, but mine had a mirror with it. So it stood out. And even though it was a little bit more expensive, it was a great buy to, if you've got
wow.
a couple of daughters or you've got a friend that you want to buy it for. Um, so just think about how you can bundle things together to be gifts for Christmas if there's products that you already sell.
That's smart. Yeah, there's a ton of women in this group who sell eyelashes as well. So
Oh,
it's probably
okay.
good to know, yeah, that they could
Yeah,
expand and go on Amazon and have an audience kind of there waiting if they found the right wording. Yeah, that's stunning. Um, and let's see. So if someone, let's say they want to sell eyelashes, they want to work with you, is it a coaching program over a certain amount of time? What can they expect if they're scared because they, haven't reached out to a Chinese company before? How
yeah.
do you walk them through a big, process like that?
So I have a 12-month program.
Okay.
The reason for that is I think that people need ongoing help.
Yeah.
I've done like 4-week programs before, but I always find that I feel like people are not getting like after the program's done, so they may be just getting the product shipped or they've just kind of got there and they need that ongoing help. So I decided to launch this 12-month program, which is my Amazon Cream program. And I'm also about to launch an Etsy one.
Ooh,
And I always do free training for two reasons, because I always want to help women.
yeah.
And also, you also then get to know me throughout the free training. It's like one of the, you see challenges online, like 3-day challenges, 5-day. I do an Amazon 3-day program where I help you find a product. So
Wow.
at the end of it, you will have a product. And then you can decide then if you want to invest and carry on working with me. But I know that I've done some good that I've helped you find a product. So that was my hardest challenge when I first
I'm like
started.
that too. I honor that in you, because I believe you can be so successful if you have that heart of service, and really help people get where they need to go, and that inherently creates trust as well. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. And it's value, isn't it? We all know if we're
yeah,
selling or marketing online, it's the more value you get. I used to feel that, oh, I didn't want to give away all my secrets.
yeah,
Now I give it all away
yeah,
because
a little like that too.
people will, if it's not now, it'll be in the future that people maybe try on their own and then they'll come back to me, or even if they don't, it's just, I think it's my, because I didn't share my story that I'm a domestic violence survivor, which is still quite hard to talk about. But I
Yeah.
don't love like sympathy because I'm a survivor, and it's actually made me a better daughter, mother, sister, person. I really am so grateful for the journey that I've been on, and it's kind of, since I've started talking about it, it's very healing for me, and it also has helped a lot of women out there because it's more common than we think.
Yeah.
Going through that difficult time has really made me want to focus more on women. So I help, anybody wants to reach out to me, ask me a question, I'm always there to help you. I offer 15-minute free calls if you want, if you've got an idea of a product, you just want it validated. Because like you say, the more I feel like I give out to the world, the more it comes back to me in different ways.
Yeah, I completely agree.
So I have a free 3-day Amazon program that I do every month. I also have a 12-month paid program, and I just launched this year the Amazon Queen Accelerator, which is an intensive 3-month, 90-day program to get you to launch a product. Um,
Ooh,
so I keep you accountable on your case, and I can help you every step of the way from
yeah.
in the product. I introduce you to my Chinese agents that I've
Yeah.
worked with for many years now, and I've met, because I used to do trips to China before COVID. So you're not going to get ripped off by someone that you don't know, or because I'll introduce you to the right people, help you source that product, just be there, guiding you really, so that you can then launch products. I just want to get as many. I read a stat recently that 32% of the Amazon sellers are women, and I'm like, you know what, we've got to
Really?
get 50%.
Yeah.
I'm on a mission to help women get selling their products on Amazon. So there's also an Etsy program that I'm launching, and I'm doing that with a girl that I learned a lot on Etsy around. And she's from California actually, and she was a hairdresser who she sold hair accessories on Etsy just by trying products because she had lost her job through COVID. Well, not lost it, but she couldn't work. And she just was trying different products. She followed all these top 10% Etsy sellers. When I started selling on at Etsy, I came across her and she gave me loads of free help. And then we started doing things together and running programs and things together. So we're launching this Etsy program together. So we're going to do a free program for that as well. So
It's exciting.
I think I sent you my link so that if anybody wants it. Oh, and one other thing that I announced today was I've got a PDF that I've done my top 10 products to sell for Christmas. So if anybody wants that,
Ooh, that's exciting.
yeah. So just some ideas of products, because I think it's really hard to just start that first product. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
just things to help people get started, really, because as you can tell, I'm so passionate about it.
Yeah, I just love it. I think that's part of why I was so excited is because I could just feel that you knew what you were doing and like very in depth and even, it takes some courage to reach out to a different country and get to know um,
Mm,
representatives of different companies and then find what works. And then, thank you for being open to sharing of what you have survived because that's so empowering to other women and it is more prevalent than I think anyone knows. So that all
yeah,
takes such strength and courage and to empower other women, not only with the know how and the intelligence, but also the passion and the strength and the courage and compassion, like you said. I'm just definitely stunned by you and appreciate you for being here
oh,
with
thank
us
you,
today.
thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah. We don't know what happens. We don't know what our future holds, do we? All we can control is how we're going to react to it. And yeah, I went through a really difficult time, but I think now I feel like it was meant to happen, weirdly, because
we,
it just made me the person that I am today, and I just
yeah,
feel at peace, and yeah, I've enjoyed helping other people because that makes me feel good. So
yeah.
yeah, it's
Take
great to be in this group sharing with lots of other women.
women.
Like you say, I'm
Yeah,
sure everyone can, there'll be other women that can relate um, to, having suffered domestic abuse or domestic violence, and you've just got to go with your gut and facing fear, really, facing fear head on. you'll find that I love that quote actually. I'll share that quote. Fear stands for forget everything and run, which I was doing at one point,
Yeah.
or, or
Just
face everything and rise. So
Ooh, I've got goosebumps. That's
and
amazing.
I think I really do feel like I've faced everything and rose now.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, being featured in Forbes Magazine last year was like, oh my god, I've made it.
Congratulations. That's so
So
exciting.
it's just that's why I know that by helping others, it just comes back to me in different ways because I'm just being true to myself these days. And if we
Yeah.
mess up, we have a bad day, or we mess up, we make a mistake, we've moved forward and we've learned, haven't we?
Yeah, definitely. Do you mind if I ask if you have a message for if there's any women watching this who have been or currently struggling with domestic abuse? Do you mind if do you have a message for them or encouragement or who
So
are trying to
I
start a business too?
Yeah, I was really ashamed of it, I've got to say.
Mm,
I really didn't want to own well, I was in denial when I was in the relationship,
mhm,
and I even afterwards, I think people saw me as a successful Amazon seller, and I just hid behind it, and I didn't want to share my story. It wasn't until
mhm,
last year that I did share my story, and
mm.
I've got to be honest, it was a selfish reason. I just wanted to heal from it because I felt like I was keeping all this stuff inside, but
Yeah,
by doing that, by sharing it, I have women contact me and say thank you for sharing your story. So I didn't realise I was going to help anybody. So I know that sounds really selfish, but it was. I needed to just get it out because I felt like I wasn't
I have
being.
that too. Yeah.
I didn't want to be labelled and like known as this domestic violence survivor because I was ashamed of it.
Mm,
It's ridiculous because now I'm like, it's the best thing I ever did was share it. But I think
yeah,
when you're in that situation and you're in denial because you think, oh no, that only happens to those people, or no, can't be happening to me. Just share it with somebody, even if it's you don't want to share it with someone that you feel is going to judge, or you might be a complete stranger. There's lots of chances that I didn't even know about until I left. Uh,
mm,
but you'll always keep going back to that gut instinct of this isn't right.
yeah,
Every time you forgive them, every time you feel that it's all your fault that this is happening, you'll come back to it. This isn't right. This isn't right. And it's only until you face the fear that your life will be guaranteed. Because I've spoken to so many different women. Once you face that fear and make that first step to share it with someone else, will get yourself safe and get out. Your life will become better. It may become difficult for a while. Yeah, I
yeah,
had 32 court hearings of legal battles of harassment after I left. It was difficult. It wasn't easy just to leave. So you will go through a difficult time, but you'll come out the other side, and 100% you will. Basically, that got to just reach out to somebody that because my soul was dying in that home, and I didn't want to break the children up from their father, but I had to do it because my
mhm,
soul was dying, and yeah,
yeah,
what I'm saying is just think of that, facing our fears. And it really, it kind of links with everything, doesn't it? If you want to start an online business or you want to start an Amazon business or you want to start your own group, I know you encourage people to do that.
mhm,
We're facing fears, aren't we? And every time we face our fears, is this thing we've created in our mind. I call it Fred in the head. But
oh,
once we face Fred and get through the other side, we'll look back and realise it was the best thing that we ever did.
yeah,
So yeah,
that
just share. There'll be somebody you can share your worries to, and find that person.
yeah, I think that's so powerful, so just thank you for that. I've had my own struggles, and I realized if I had just started talking to people sooner, I would have been out sooner.
Yeah.
Own things, yeah, so I just even though it sounds simple or maybe it sounds scary, it's so powerful, you'll get help faster,
Mm.
resources faster, like you said, so I just admire you, for just not being putting that fear to the side and just, helping other women. I know you said it started just for your own personal needing to get it off your chest, and I've had that too, but it's incredibly empowering, so I admire you, for
Yeah, thank you.
sharing.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Yeah.
I think whatever it is, everyone's had some adversity, whether it, everyone's had maybe like a bereavement or someone's got ill or you've lost your
Mhm.
job or we've all had different struggles. Obviously, some people have had more traumatic things, but we all have things. We're always bothered about what other people think about ourselves.
Yeah.
There was something I saw on Instagram reel the other day where it said, why do we worry about what other people think about ourselves when most people don't even like themselves?
Yeah. That's awesome. Oh my gosh.
It's true. So it's just like, go out there. What's the worst that can happen? Just go out there, go with your gut. Happiness and peace is worth so much more. And
Yeah,
you haven't, you know, we all learn from every step that we take that way. And things don't always work out straight away. It took me a while to build the business that I've got today. But you just got to keep going with that vision and consistency, and we'll get there. So
that's amazing. Thank you so, so much for being here. And it looks like, do you have any like last things you want to share with the audience before we wrap up today? And again, I just appreciate your beauty and your intelligence and strength.
I don't think there's anything. I mean, if there's anything, I was thinking earlier there could have been if anybody wanted me to do an Etsy session or an Amazon session, if anyone's got any particular question, just reach out to me.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, there's lots of free stuff that I can guide you with, and then obviously if you want to work with me, that's great too.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, cool. Thank you so much. And for anyone watching, we'll have Anna's information in the description. I'll put it in the comments. If you're listening on the podcast or on the YouTube channel, it will also be in the description there so you can connect with her. And thank you again so much for being here today.
No, thank you for inviting me. It's been great. Thanks everybody.
Thanks. Yes, thanks so much. All right. Bye. Thank you. Thanks for being with us, and check out our Boss Babe Female podcast on YouTube.